Hi everybody, my name is Rachel and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to show you guys how to make a delicious pumpkin pie recipe that is super simple and easy. It is my go-to recipe and it is one that I really like and that I have learned different ways to modify it to make it my own. This recipe is not my recipe, it is the Chow Hound's recipe. I will leave her link down in the description below. We're going to first start off with the crust. You want to use a stick of butter, or for my vegan friends, you can use a vegan butter as well. I haven't tried it myself with the vegan butter, but I mean, I have baked so much with vegan butter that I have found that it makes the same exact dough as a regular butter would. So I'm gonna go ahead and place my butter here in a microwave safe dish and going to pop it in the oven to slightly melt it for about 30 seconds. Now that the butter is softened and slightly cooled, I'm gonna go ahead and add in my sugar. For the sugar, I'm just going to put about a teaspoon, a little bit less. So I accidentally used the tablespoon instead of a teaspoon, so I'm just going to subtract a tiny bit of that sugar because I really don't want it to be too sweet. We don't like it to be too sweet, and plus, I mean, the pumpkin filling is going to have sweetness to it, and then also with the whipped cream, so we are good on that. Now I'm going to next put in a teaspoon of oil. I'm going to use the grapeseed oil because that is what I use for cooking. Next, we're going to go ahead and put 1 teaspoon of salt. And now we're going to go ahead and put 1.3 cups of flour. And now I'm going to go ahead and mix up the ingredients and make my dough. I like to use a glove because I wash my hands so much throughout the day that it just really saves my hands on having to wash them one more time within the process of cooking. I know this recipe may seem like a lot, but it honestly really isn't. It is fast and easy and simple, and it really is a delicious recipe that everyone will enjoy. It's easy to make modifications, so this way you can put it to your own liking, and this way you can try and meet everybody's diet restrictions if they have them as well. Now that it is mixed up, I'm going to go ahead and put it here in my baking dish. This is the only pie baking dish that I have, so I'm going to go ahead and use it. We are going to crumble up the crust first here into the dish, and this way it just helps spread it evenly, so when you pat it down, it makes it more evenly as you press it down. This crust is a very simple, easy crust, yet is super delicious. It is buttery and has a nice crumbly flake to it. And if the dough sticks a little bit to your hands, just put some flour on your hands and it'll take care of that problem real quickly. Now that the crust is already pressed down, we're going to go ahead and place it in the fridge for 30 minutes. But since I don't have 30 minutes, I'm going to go ahead and place it in the freezer while I'm making the filling. While your pie crust is setting in the fridge or freezer, go ahead and start preheating your oven. While preheating the oven, also make sure to put in a baking sheet down at the bottom rack. Pie and crust will come out much better. First, we're going to start off with a 15-ounce can of pumpkin. Go ahead and empty your pumpkin into your mixing bowl. Next, we're going to use for a sweetener condensed milk. This time around though, I want to try out this condensed milk. This one is a sweetened condensed coconut milk, and I'm excited to try it. The original recipe calls for a whole entire can, but that is just way too much for me. I actually tried it, and for me and my family, it's just too much. So I am going to just put about up to here of the can. This is going to be tasty for sure. Next, I'm going to go ahead and add in 2 eggs. Next, we're going to go ahead and put in 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg, 1/8 teaspoon or so of cloves. And for good measure this time, I'm going to go ahead and use some pumpkin pie spice. I really like pumpkin pie spice a lot. I use it in my coffee every day, so that's what I'm going to use. I'm just going to go ahead and just put a sprinkle. And go ahead and combine it all together. And it already smells so good. And as it bakes in the oven, the aromas just fill the whole entire house and it just smells so good. And it's been enough time that my crust has been setting in the freezer, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull it out, add my filling into my crust, and put it in the oven. The pie just needs to bake about 50 to 70 minutes, and you'll know when it's finished. It'll be lightly brown and it'll just have a slightly jiggle to it, but will be nice and set.